My name is Vanessa Banks. I have been with Young Living now for a little over 6 years. I am a mom of 4 girls. They are range from 9 to 1. And so people are like, oh, you're busy. And I'm like, oh, but my girlfriend Shannon has 8. And so like, if she can do it, like, I feel like I can do it. But yes, it is very busy. We are busy all the time. I was just asking her if she's a 2 on an Enneagram. I'm a 2 on the Enneagram, so I'm a helper. I have no boundaries. I never know how to say no. So, yeah, but you don't have to be any of those things to do this business. And that's what's beautiful about this is that we're across the board all different. So first of all, I just want to tell you, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your Sunday night with us. We really appreciate you. We're honored to be here with you. You know, what's crazy is I'm going to actually tell you a little bit about this. So Carissa, Katrina, Shannon, and Amy and I are together. She's actually my enroller, and we're going to talk about enroller tonight. So you'll know what that means in just a second, but we are all cross-line. We are cross-line cousins, and God just laid it on our heart to be able to come together and put together something that was going to be so wonderful for everybody who wanted to learn about sharing young living, because sharing young living looks so different to every one of us. And so we wanted to come and be able to share our lives and share our stories. And maybe this may be for you or it may not be for you. And that's okay. But we are so thankful that you are here to just listen to this, because we may say something and you may be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it, you know? And that's probably going to happen. So that's what's really good about this. You know, that's why they probably said, hey, you want to teach the dream call? Because if you can teach it, anyone can teach it, you know? So first of all, let's talk about this. Right now, it's never been a better time to be an enroller than right now. People are caring about their health and their wellness and their kids and their well-being and financial. I mean, I know so many. My husband and I both own our own businesses. We actually have a chiropractic office, and I do Young Living. And so we know the fear of corporate world where a lot of people are losing their jobs. Both of us depend on those corporate people to come and talk to us and come and see us. So we know, but right now I'm going to tell you, there's never been a better time to be a Young Living enroller than right now. So just remember that, like, this is when it is good, y'all. This is so good. People want to know. One also really good thing is when you became a member, when you even got that $35 starter kit and you became a member, Young Living gives you an affiliate link. Do you know that? Did you know that you have an affiliate link that you can share with your family and friends? That you don't necessarily have to refer your people to your upline. You actually can share it with them. And that's what's so beautiful, is that anybody can share. If you find a product that you love and you're like, hey, I want to tell my best friend about this, tell your best friend. Your best friend probably needs it too, especially if it's Ningxia Red. Your best friend needs it. I promise you that. So, yeah.
When do you want me to share the screen? Because I don't want to interrupt you.
I actually am going to tell you to share the screen right now. So,
okay,
Shannon, look at her. See, look at us. So Shannon is actually going to show you where you can get your affiliate link, because that's one of the biggest questions that we get is, what's my affiliate link? What's my member number? What's that? You know, so your member number can be the number that you give them. Like, they're going to have to put in your member number it's going to ask you, remember when you signed up, and it asks you, who was your sponsor? Who was your enroller? Well, what's so beautiful that is, if you go to member resources, which Shannon is doing.
My screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you click on member resources, which member resources, y'all, that is a gold mine of information. Do y'all see all that? Do you see all that information? Make sure you go through that and know that information. It tells you everything. You're out of stock list that you're like, is my baby wipes ever going to come back in? They are. They're going to come, I promise. But Young Living is never going to just do something that is not a seed to seal promise. So That's why we wait on certain things. That's why when Valor went out of stock, that's why I have 11 bottles of it, because lo and behold, if it ever goes out of stock again, I will be good for about 11 months. And then see, Katrina will be too. Okay, so then right down there at the very bottom where it says link builder, that right there, she's going to click on it. Her member number immediately pops up, but right down there where it says copy link, that is your affiliate link. That is what you get to send to people when somebody says, hey, remember how you were telling me about sulfurzyme? I need it. And you say, oh my gosh, I would love for you to have sulfurzyme. Here is my link, and this is how you order it. You know, it's a little bit more than that, but just know that there's where your link is, okay? So this is a really incredible gift that Young Living gives us, because they could have said, I'm going to spend millions and millions of dollars, and I'm going to spend millions on marketing. I'm going to spend millions on putting our products in the store, but they don't do that. They pay us instead, and they pay us really, really well. And we will get into that later, okay? So we'll go over all of the income disclosure, and we will go over all of that. But Young Living did us a service by allowing us to be the educators and allowing us to be able to serve other people, because they could have done it differently. They really could have. And so when people always say, oh, MLM, and I'm just like, ah, man, thank God that Young Living set it up the way that it did, because I would not know the people that are on this computer right now if Young Living wouldn't have set it up like that. So they blessed us tenfold, you know? I don't want to skip over anything, so I'm going to make sure that I'm kind of looking at my notes a little bit tonight. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit of my story, and I want some other people to chime in too if they would like to and tell their story. But here's kind of how my story went. I was personal training. My husband and I owned a chiropractic office. He was literally working till all hours of the night. We got married, had our first baby, then got pregnant, had our second baby. And what's funny is I learned about essential oils on the day my second baby was born. I actually had my midwife rub clary sage and lavender on my belly, and I immediately started having contractions. And her being 16 days late, like, you're thinking, what are those little bottles of miracle that you just rubbed on my belly? Because then she came. So after that, I am a researcher at heart. And so I got this big old book. It's called the Essential Oils Desk Reference. It is incredible. And I would stay up at night and studying it. I didn't even have oils yet, y'all. I would just study it. Like, I know, that's weird. My husband thought it was really weird too. But the moment I saw Amy say, hey, she got on Facebook. And she's like, hey, I'm going to give a class on essential oils. Would you like to come? And I messaged her and I was like, I can't come to your class, but could you meet me at the office? She met me, her and Lori Gasca. Lori is our upline. And they came to the office, and here I had this 1-month-old baby, and they literally just had me smell every oil that they had in their little caboodle. And it was perfect. So then here I am just having a baby. I get my kit. They're like, oh, there's a business side. I'm like, I don't ever want to share these things. I just want to use these things. Like, don't talk to me about that. But I am a external processor, as my best friend would call me, and I externally process things. And so if I find something that I love, I'm like, oh my gosh, you need this too. Like, you have that, I have that, you need that. And so it just organically started to grow. And y'all, I looked at my downline today because I kind of wanted to see like my history of things. And I signed up in May of 2014. I shared organically. Like I said, I did not want to do this as a business. I actually had no idea what I was doing as I was sharing these things. But by July of 14, I was senior star, and I'll go over all these things too. By December 14, I was executive. By February of 15, I was silver. And by October of 15, I was gold. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I probably just started learning about the business side of this because they said, hey, do you want to do you want to share, simply share, and simply dream? So it's like, sure, let me learn all the business things. Because that's how easy it is, y'all. Like, you just have to literally have a product from the starter kit that you love, whether it be your Ningxia packet that you got or your Valor and your affiliate link, and you just share it with people. It's that easy. Like, it truly is. Like, it's when you start overcomplicating it and you think, oh, I have to sell this kit and I have to sell. No, you don't. Like, you literally just have to get the product, use the product, love the product. And one really good thing is Chase was sublingual, like giving me sublingual messages. And he would say to me, hey, if you could just get your products paid for, that would help our family out so much. He's like, if we're ditching and switching, like you keep saying that we're going to do, if you could just get your products paid for, that would be beautiful. So I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And then he was like, if you could just make us like an extra $300, that would really help our family. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do that. And so then he would like, heck, he kept going up and up and up. And honestly, I think when he stopped telling me goals, I was like, okay, like, because I was like, well, obviously maybe I hit what he was thinking I should hit, but now I have new goals. So we've moved past him. But that's what I'm saying is, if anybody else wants to kind of share their story of like how they got started and how it is pretty much that simple of just, and Amy did help me. I mean, bless her heart. She literally called me and was like, hey, Vanessa, because I used to teach boot camps and personal train. She's like, hey, can you put together a little boot camp class? And I'm going to just come and teach about essential oils. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That sounds good. I can do that. She comes, and I think we signed up like what, Amy? 13, 15.
I still get the memories on my Facebook feed, and we're like 25 something people showed up. We still haven't had a class that big.
Never.
Personal.
So it was awesome. Like, it was beautiful. And so things like that just organically happen too. Sometimes like you'll just be like, hey, my friend's going to share about oils. Do you want to come? And you do a Zoom like this, and then 25 people show up. I mean, it happens like that, or one person signs up, and you just can't get discouraged, because that one person, we're going to talk about this later, that one person may know one person, then that one person may know one person. So that's where you just can't get discouraged. It's not all on you, Does anybody else want to share their story before I move on?
I'll share mine. Mine's really kind of the same. Mm-hmm. That I needed oils because I was having an issue.
Yep.
And so when I realized they were going to help, my biggest issue was that it could not affect our budget. So I just had a couple of people over. Matter of fact, I had a friend of mine that said, okay, you got me started in these oils. You need to have a class. I was like, I don't know anything. I'm not going to have a class. But I did. We just went around the dining room table is what we did, and just pulled out the oils and let everybody sniff and ask questions, because I didn't feel like an expert at the time to be able to do that. But it was in a few weeks that our oils were covered. And I love that. And I was a homeschool mom. I was homeschooling, I think 6 or 7 at the time, and another baby on the way. And when Lori was talking about doing this as a business, I was like, you crazy? I'm not doing this. And I think everybody starts off that way. But when people see the benefits as you share what you're doing, they want to know. It's our story and how we use it. It what affects people. We don't have to be an expert. And you've got a community of people right here. Vanessa knows things that I don't know. Carissa knows things that I don't know. We just all share together. So that's the beauty of it.
It is.
But probably the biggest blessing over time is the friendships that we've had over the years. So I got into it because of a need. It met a financial need as well that I had no idea was coming. One of the examples I like to share is that we had moved also like 5 times. So I'm homeschooling 7 kids. We have a new baby. We moved 5 times. And we were going to have to start making 2 house payments. And my husband and I just looked at each other and were like, I don't know how that's going to happen. And that very month is when several people decided to start. So you don't know when they're going to do it. You may talk to 4 or 6 people today. Some of those may come in a couple of months from now. So just every month keep sharing. But it may end up being a huge blessing.
You say a couple months. I mean, I have people who literally have known that I've used Young Living for 6 years and they're just now coming
Oh,
around. So, I mean, you are just planting seeds wherever you go. And that's what is so beautiful about this is that you can plant seeds wherever you go. So I feel like that's exactly what you said. Like, God just kept providing, like he kept just bringing the people. And that's the whole thing is it this business is so beautiful because it can go as fast or as slow as you need it to go. Like that is what is so nice about it. And nobody's pushing you. Like there's not a boss who's on top of you being like, you didn't get this, you didn't get that done. You're your own independent distributor. You get to decide how fast you want to go. It is so wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about really quick. So exactly what Shannon just said. She set this up so beautifully. You do not have to be an expert on anything. I will tell you that. We are not supposed to be doctors. We're not. Like, that's not our job, is to be their doctor. We are there to support people. We are there to share with them what has worked for us, what has worked in our family. We are there to say, like Shannon said, hey, you want to smell my oil? How did that make you feel? Did that make you feel as good as it makes me feel? Like, literally, like that's exactly what she did. She was like, smell this lavender. Did you just smell that? Did that instantly make you calm? Because it instantly made me calm. So it's even getting around a table with your girlfriends and just passing around those oils and saying, oh, that's stress away. Hang on tight to that. Don't let the kiddos have it because you're going to have to take it into your closet and smell it when you need some stress away. So it's just having those small little products, having that thieves cleaner, having that Ningxia Red, and just saying, hey, let's get together. Hey, will you hop on a Zoom with me really quick? Hey, I want to tell you about lemon, lavender, and peppermint, how it changed the way seasonal things bother us, and you can give your testimony. That's the wonderful thing is if something's worked for you, share your testimony because you know what? People need to hear what these oils and what these oil infused supplements have done for us. They really do. Like they deserve to hear that. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick. Let's talk about being a product of the product. So somebody said that to me really, really early on. They said, you want to be a product of the product. And I was kind of trying to wrap my mind around that. I was like, what does it mean to be a product of the product? Really and truly what it means is using Young Living products. You guys, Young Living has offered us products for every single thing that we would ever need to live a low tox lifestyle. I will never say a toxic free lifestyle because if you walk outside, I'm really sorry, there's going to be toxins there. So always think of it this way, a low tox lifestyle. Okay. So that's what they're doing for us. They are literally taking the guesswork out of everything for us. So one thing that used to just, I'm telling you, drive me crazy is I would sit there and I would research and research and I would find a product and I was like, oh, praise you, Jesus. I found a product I can bring into my home. And then a big name company would buy it over and it was not good anymore. And then we were greenwashed. And then I would think, oh, this is going to be good. And then I would read the back of the label and I'm like, fragrance? Like, why? Why does everything have to have fragrance in it? So that's one thing that you don't have to worry about with Young Living is that they are not going to ever do something that is not going to be the best for their audience, for their people, for us as consumers. They ask us all the time what our needs are, and they're going to meet our needs plus more. So that's one thing that you can know about Young Living, that if your grandmother needs something or if your newborn baby, they have something for everyone. And that is such a beautiful thing. And you don't have to sit there and do hours and hours of research just to know that you're doing well for your family, And doesn't that make you feel good?
Can I add something on that point?
Yes, Leah.
The reason why I actually started with our Thieves line.
Uh-huh.
Because I am so allergic to a lot of these chemicals. You don't realize how many chemicals have bleach and ammonia, and I'm allergic to both of those.
Yeah.
So my mom said, why don't you start on this thieves line? And she sent me the little trial spray. And I said, Mom, order me the thieves thing. And she gave me the thieves starter kit. Yeah. And then I just kind of went into essential oils from that. But it all started with, I am so addicted to these thieves.
Yes. And
I actually have the white one in my internal now for that's the only way I can drink water. That and the lemon and the lime.
I love it. I love it. And that's exactly correct. There is something for everyone. And that's what is so beautiful. And they literally have made a plant-based cleaning product that will clean every single thing in my home. Like, I'm sorry. And my kids who eat off the floor, I mean, your kids may not, but mine do. We live in a free range household. They eat it off the floor and I'm not having to worry about it, So that's what's beautiful too. So I want to create a vision for you really quick. This is not going to be kumbaya. This is just, I want to create a vision for you. Okay. I want you to close your eyes really quick. Okay. And I want you to vision something with me. Okay. I'm going to give you a second because I really do want you to close your eyes. If you don't want to, you can just black out your screen, but I want to create this vision for you. So think about it like this. So every day or every month on the 18th, Young Living deposits a check in your bank account. And you open up your bank account and it's $4,000 in your bank account. Okay? I want you to think about right now what you would do with that $4,000. What a difference it will make in your life. Who you could help, who you could give to, what bills you could pay off, what debt you could pay off. What would it do for you? What would it do for your family? Okay? I want you to get that vision. I want you to start to think about that. I want you to write down your why, and I want you to know that this is possible, you guys. Okay? Okay, you can open up your eyes. Because I'm going to tell you that $4,000 is life-changing. It is game-changing. $2,000 for us was game changer for us, okay? So it's not even $4,000. But I say $4,000 because if you made $4,000 every day for the next 25 years, do you know that that would be $1 million? In my life, if you would have told me that, if you would be like, oh, you could make $1 million, I'd be like, no, I'll never make $1 million. Once I looked at that and saw that in 25 years, if I keep making the same paycheck that I'm making right now with Young Living, that I will have made $1 million. Y'all, that's just unheard of, like in my little mind, I mean, you may come from a big old mindset and you have dreamed big, and my dream that I just gave you, you're like, I've already done that, but I'm going to tell you, in my mind, that blew my mind, once I looked at that. So just imagine like what you could do. I'm going to tell you, with my check, I'm able to pay for our girls' school. I'm able to pay for my car. I'm able to pay for our insurance. I'm able to pay for anything extra that the girls want to do. I am able to pay for anything extra I want to do. I pay our credit card. I do all of that with my income. And you know what? I got to go somewhere last night, and it was for a beautiful cause. And I was able to write a check from what Young Living has provided me, not what my husband was saying. He was like, oh babe, I've already given. And I'm like, oh, good for you. Cause I'm going to too, because it was that important to me. And I got to do that because I know that this has helped us so beautifully financially. But not only that, y'all, like I have literally been able to see lives change, and I would have never gotten to see the amount of lives change if I would have still just been personal training and not doing this. Like, lives changing, okay? So just remember that, okay? That there is so much more to Young Living than even their products. Okay, next I want to go to the perks of Young Living. Okay, so let's go over why Young Living. I mean, you all already probably use the products. You probably are all love the products. I will tell you that I have a girl who, I don't know, she may have just gotten off here, but she hasn't even gotten her starter kit yet. And she already was just wanting to know how to share, and that's the beautiful thing, is you don't even have to have your starter kit to know how to share. Okay. So let's go over the perks really quick. So first of all, they own their own farms and you can visit any of them. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you go and buy your oils at the store, or if your friends want to buy their oils at their store or anything else, you're not going to be able to go to their farms. So you're never going to get to see how they're testing it. You're never going to get to plant them. That was my favorite part about going to the farm, was getting to plant things. Like, I'm like, this is amazing. You get to go through the distillery. Like, you get to do so much. It's incredible, you guys. Also, this is a legacy network marketing company. Do you know what that means? That if you pass away, that you can leave what you are making to your husband, to your children. Y'all, I have willable income. If I was still personal training, I would never have willable income. I'm going to tell you that. Like, we just had what I made, who I saw. I have willable income. It's been around for 25 years also. Guys, we're not going anywhere. Young Living is only getting better and better. We are not going anywhere. Also, they are the world leaders of essential oils by far. I don't care who you compare us to. Nobody will be able to compare to our singles and our blends and our supplements and our CBD and our skincare and our hair care. They will not all have everything that we have. They may have a couple of things. There's a couple of really great companies out there, and I would never, ever dock a company. Please know that. I will say that Young Living, though, is the leading essential oil company. And I will say that with confidence, Also, they are so generous to us members. I mean, I'm going to say, like, Katrina and Shannon and Carissa and Amy could definitely say, yes, they are so generous to us. How they pay us, how they've set up the pay structure. They give to so many people. I remember this was one thing that I knew about how Young Living gave. Like, I really did. Like, I kind of had looked into everything, like their foundation and stuff like that. But y'all, where it really hit home for us is when Hurricane Harvey hit, and getting to watch all of the kits that they sent out to people's houses who flooded. Y'all, they sent so much stuff to these people. Thieves cleaner, thieves hand sanitizer, thieves soap, everything that they needed in order to clean their homes. They were sending people, we were going out and helping people. It was so beautiful. They also will send you on different trips. So when you rank to silver and gold and platinum and diamond, they actually have it where you get to go to different farms and you get to see what is being like distilled, and you get to learn more about the company. You get to be so hands-on. So just know that when you hit silver, that you're going to get to go and see Mona Farm. Like, how incredible is that? And I know that Katrina got to go on her gold trip, right? So I've been having babies and breastfeeding this whole entire time. So I've missed most of my trips, but I'm still hoping that when I hit platinum that I'll get to go on the platinum trip. But they get, y'all, and the stuff that you get when you get to go to those trips is incredible. I think Katrina got a free bottle of Melissa. I'm like, listen, if I can't go, can you still just send me a free bottle of Melissa? Like, if I earned it, can you just send it to me? I never called. They probably would have, Also, Here's the
Can
one
I
thing. Yes.
interject one more thing?
Of course.
I just wanted to say I do remember when the thieves truck came around Houston
Yes.
because we were one of the victims that they actually helped.
I love that.
And we ended up moving to North Dakota where I live now. But
Yeah.
I do remember that going around
Yes.
to the suburban parts.
And that is how generous
And-
they are. Yes.
Yeah, and
love
they
that.
were just wonderful. They got volunteers and they got people to, pull drywall and clean, and it was amazing.
It is.
And the second thing is they are actually doing the tours online because of the COVID right now.
Yep.
They are doing them online. Get on the website, the Young Living website, and they will. It says see a tour. I was just following threads and I came across it.
I love it. Yeah.
And it's amazing because they do like a little quiz there. They said, okay, which one is this? This one's Heather. This one's so-and-so. And look at these little flowers. And it's really cute tour.
No, I love it. Hey, will you put that information in the chat comment so that way people can see maybe?
Sure, if I can.
Okay.
This is my first time using Zoom, so.
Well, I love it. Well, you're doing great.
I'll try to figure it out, okay?
No, I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, so here is what I was going to say is also one thing that I love is that Young Living, like I said, is not just a essential oil company. So that is one thing that I always make sure that I tell people that, yes, we may be with the world leader, but we are not just an essential oil company. I'm going to tell you that us in this family, we use so many essential infused products, especially like supplements and stuff like that, that this book right here is game changer on the supplements. So if you are wanting to learn about Young Living supplements, it's Jen O'Sullivan. Somebody can maybe put it in the chat for me, but it's her supplement desk reference. And just like I was talking about the essential oil desk reference, those are two really good books to get if you're wanting to learn more and wanting to share more, but also being a product of the product and trying things you're going to get to know for your own personal experience. Also, what works for you. Also, I want to say that one thing I love about Young Living is that our retention is incredible. So if you were with another company, you would have to, your retention rate is normally around about 2 to 8%. Our retention rate for Young Living is about 42%, if not higher. A lot of people that I know with their customers and stuff like that, it's higher than 42%. Okay. So just know that you're not always going to have to be finding new people. That's the one really beautiful thing about Young Living is that they've offered this lifestyle that you're not always going to have to find new people. Okay. Also, you're not required to hold inventory. Hello. Is that not beautiful? Is that not freeing? Like I don't have to have things on my shelf that I'm going to sell people. Like that right there is wonderful to me, because if you are like, hey, do you have this and I have it? Fine, that's great. But if you want me to order something for you, I'm like, oh, well, my essential words date goes on this date. And then I may remember and I may not. So that is not positive. Like that's holding me to a really, 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 really high standard at that point. And thank God that Young Living does not make me do that. So I love that about them. Also, here's what is so beautiful is that you are literally only required to spend 100 PV a month in order to get a paycheck. Do you know how easy it is to spend 100 PV? And if you don't, call me. I will tell you. Call my husband, actually. Call Chase Banks.
I'm still having problems doing that. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong, but I'm obviously doing something wrong because every time I try to order something, it always asks for my credit card and I can't get the PV,
Okay.
the
Leah,
little screen up.
Who's your personal enroller?
My mother, actually.
Who is anybody on here? Is it Carissa, Shannon, me?
Leah, you and I can next week get together and we'll.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, that would be great. I would really appreciate that.
Yes.
So I remember, Amy, you said something about calling you, but I just haven't had time with everything that's going around.
Well, our website is very complex, and the cool thing is that they're evolving it again.
Yes, we are getting a new one. Praise you, Jesus.
new stuff coming.
Yes, that was actually going to be a perk too. We are getting a new website. We are getting out of the 1980s, and we are hopefully moving into the 2000 era. So that is going to be incredible. So hopefully Leah, Amy will get with you, and that will be good. But I am saying, what I was saying is that it's actually really easy to spend 100. And what I was saying is ask my husband, because we definitely spend way more than 100. And it's really mostly his supplements now why we spend that much. Not mine anymore, mostly his. Okay, so let's move on really quick. Hey, Shannon, will you do me a favor? Will you pop up the income disclosure statement? Because I definitely want to show them, since I talked about it earlier, I definitely want to show them really quick what that looks like, what we're talking about when I say any of these terms that I've just used. Okay, awesome. Can y'all see that? Can everybody see it on the screen? Okay, good. Okay, so if you look right there, distributor, do you know that when you sign up with Young Living, that you are basically a member/distributor? So don't let the word distributor scare you if you never want to share Young Living, okay? Because distributor and member is the same exact thing, okay? But since we are all here and we're kind of wanting to learn about maybe sharing Young Living, I'm going to just know that distributor is where you start. Your next, would you say, rank that you're going to get, that's what Young Living calls it, is a star. So that would be your next rank. And what's beautiful is that you only have to have 500 OGV. So that's you and maybe 2 other people that you've shared Young Living with, okay? But that star right there, that's not even, I'm not even going to go into the details of the comp plan. We'll go over that on Tuesday. I just want to show y'all really quick how generous Young Living is. For a star, the average income for a star, and this is annually, okay, so this is yearly, is $242. So say if you're just sharing with one friend, maybe like every few months, that's Young Living's going to send you a $240 check. But remember, for that one sign up that you get, that's $50, okay? But then I want to scroll down really quick, and I want to look at executive, okay? So if you look at executive, if you divide that up by 12 months, that is almost getting your whole entire Essential Rewards wellness box paid for the whole year. So that's when my husband said to me, babe, I just want you to get your products paid for. That was the amount of money that I needed to make yearly in order to get my money paid for, okay? So then let's look at silver, where it says the average, y'all. That's just the average, okay? And I will say that I know my average was higher than that, and I will probably say that other people's averages on here were higher than that, okay? Your yearly income for silver is almost $15,000. Y'all, that is game changer at that point. Like that's when for us, like when we hit silver and my checks were coming in at silver, that's when we were able to do so much more with our family. Okay. But then I want to go down really quick. And since we were dreaming earlier, like I want you to look at the annual gold, platinum, diamond, crown diamond, royal crown diamond. Y'all, what would you do with that money? Like, I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I could never wrap my head around. I would probably have to give half of it away because I would be like, money doesn't buy happiness. Like, it does not buy happiness. But, y'all, that is like incredible, you know? And this, y'all, we have how many, does anybody know how many diamonds, crown diamonds or royal crown diamonds that we have? And if y'all don't know, I'm going to look it up because I would now want to know that I've just thought about that. But there's a lot. Like there are a lot out there who are making that amount of money every single month. So that's amazing. And all they did was, I'm going to tell you this right now, they started with their affiliate link and probably their favorite product. And that was it. And they just started sharing organically. Okay, so let's talk really quick about retention. Okay, because now you're probably thinking, okay, I know a couple of friends. I could share this with people. This sounds like something that I could do. But then you're probably thinking, okay, but I only know a certain amount of people. Like, how does this business actually work? So another book that I want to tell you about really quick is it is called The 4-Year Career. Okay. So the 4-year career actually really broke it down well for me, but I'm gonna simplify it for you right now, okay? Can y'all see this piece of paper? Okay, so listen. So I knew when I first started out, I knew 4 friends. Like I knew that I had 4 friends that needed Young Living. My mom, number 1, needed Young Living. So I knew 4 friends. And what's so beautiful is those 4 friends ended up knowing 4 friends. And then those 4 friends ended up knowing 4 friends. Then those 4 friends ended up knowing 4 friends. And then those 4 friends ended up knowing 4 friends. And so that's how it works. And what's so beautiful is that when you hit executive, you're getting paid on all of these levels. Isn't that awesome? Young Living is paying us on all of these people that even if you don't know these people that got signed up, they're still going to pay you for these people getting signed up. Like that is incredible. Okay. So one really good thing that you have to think about is like in this thing that we're doing right now, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everybody. You are always going to be surrounded by people who are going to support you, people who are going to help you share, people who are going to guide you. So just remember that. But if you sign up 4 people a month with a premium starter kit, that's $200 right there. $200. So that's your products paid for right there. Like you could literally get in almost all of the promos that Young Living offers in our wellness boxes every single month. So just kind of keep it small. Start a dream list. Literally, that's what I did was like, I started a dream list of people who I would pray for that I knew that they needed Young Living. And I would just pray over them and just have it open up the door and me be able to be the person to help them. Because I fell in love with this company really, really quickly. You know, it changed our lives really quickly. And so I was able to just, like I said, I'm an external processor, and I was able to just say, oh my gosh, Valor gives me so much courage. It helps me so much. I really think it's going to help you too, you know? And can we all agree that we have 4 friends? And if you don't have 4 friends, I will be one of your 4 friends. But I think we all have 4 friends, yeah? Okay, so we all have 4 friends that I'm going to tell you this right now, need what we have. They especially need it right now. Like, let's be real. They need Ningxia Red, Inner Defense, Super Seeds right now. Like, I just gave you 3 products that you can share with your friends, and you don't have to know anything else. It's that easy. Okay, so I don't want to get business in the mindset of anything. Like I said, business is like I'm not good at it at all. Like it's just not, I'm not good at business, but I'm really, really good at loving on people. So if you're really good at loving people, love people. If you're really good at business, be business minded. If you're really good at sharing, share. Do it however you want to do it. Get with your enroller and say, hey, you know what? I know 4 people. Can you get on a 3-way call with me and just talk to those 4 people with me and just kind of break it down with them? I promise you they're going to be like, yeah, what works for you? And get on that 3-way call. Yo, that's my favorite thing to do is to get on a 3-way call with people and be like, hey, how are you? What are you doing? How can we help you? How can we serve you? You know, so get on that 3-way call with people. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I hope that I'm not forgetting anything because now I'm just going. Okay, so here's how easy it is. You get your kit. You subscribe to a wellness box. Okay, so that's our ER. That's our Essential Rewards. We're Young Living is sending us free products with just ordering what we need, which is so wonderful. Then you start enrolling a few friends. Then you get friends to join you. You literally are like, hey, does this sound something that you would want to do? You get them to join you. You get them on Dream Calls. You get them on Simply Wellness. You get them on Simply Share. Then from there, that's where you're like, okay, we're doing this together. You're going to use Young Living anyways, so why not share it, you know? Then I will say that from there, like you get to start having a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to talk. And if fun is your thing, like Young Living can be really fun. Amy Castles is our fun one. I'm a yellow. She's definitely has some blue. So she'll make things really fun for you. And then if you think about it, you are then changing people's lives physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like you are getting to breathe life into people, you guys. Like that's incredible, you know? And one of Young Living's motto is that to be someone for someone. Like, can we all agree that right now everybody needs someone? Like in the world that we are in right now, everybody needs somebody right now to say, hey, it's okay. Hey, we are going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. You know, and if we could take our mind off of what's going on the outside world and we can start sharing with people with what God has given us, like, do you know how incredible that could be if we could all live in our full potential? I mean, incredible, you know? Okay, so getting started. We're getting down to the wire, okay? So the secret of getting started is just doing it. Like you just do it. Call up a friend and say, hey, can I share with you these oils? Hey, can I share with you? I saw that y'all are not really feeling very well. Can I share with you some thieves? Can I share with you a diffuser that I have? I have an extra diffuser. Can I bring some thieves over to your house? I literally went in tow with a baby on my arm and another baby on my hip because my girlfriend was about to compete. And I knew that she needed some oils. And she's like, I'm sick. And I'm like, oh, but I use oils. I'm not going to get sick. And guys, no lie, I do not get sick, and my family has never been to a sick visit in our lives. Okay, so here I am with my babies, and she's like, are you really coming into my house with your kids? And I'm like, I am. And I brought all my oils too. I had just gotten my kit, y'all. Like literally, here it is May, and I probably went to her house in June, okay? And I go in there, I'm like, I read in my big book, we should put this in some saline, and I read that, you know what, let's rub this on you. Let me just rub this on you. Y'all, she called me the next day and she was like, I don't know what you put on me, what voodoo that you did. But it worked for me. And I need everything that you just did, plus everything else about Young Living. And y'all, that was my first person that I really went to her house. And I just showed up with my babies. So that's how easy it is, you know? Okay. So I want you to right now find out who your enroller is if you don't know who it is. Like if you were just Young Living had just given you an enroller, go on your virtual office, find out who your enroller is. And I want you to say to them, you know what, I would really like to know how to be an enroller. That's your first step. Go and tell them, tell somebody, because once you tell somebody, then they're going to be able to support you. Okay. If you're trying to do it on your own, you're going to say, oh, I think I could be an enroller. And tomorrow you're going to be like, I can't do that. Nope. So tell someone right away. Okay. That's your first goal. Okay. Also what I want you to do, hey, Shannon, can you look up one more thing for me? Do you mind? Okay. I want you to go to the virtual office and go back to member resources. I want you to show them really quick the Rise book, because that Rise book, y'all, Young Living, this is what I'm talking about with them coming up in times. They just put together a book that is actually made for people who are wanting to start enrolling. And it literally takes you in 90 days from distributor to senior star. And if you get used to doing that, look at how beautiful this is too. If you get used to doing that, can you just scroll up just a little bit, Shannon, just so we can look at it real quick?
Scroll it. I was like, where's the arrow?
So if you see, like, it's just telling you about our community, like what Young Living's about. Keep going, Shannon.
Okay.
Then they talk about the Live It. Can you scroll down just a little bit? So they do the Live It, share it. And what's the thing on the very end, Shannon? Grow it. So it's giving you things of how you can start this journey, you know? And so this book right here is such a beautiful book to go in and look at and get to know, like how even Young Living. And what's so beautiful is Diamonds are the ones who put this book together. So they know what they're doing. I'm going to tell you that right now. Once you hit the rank of Diamond, you definitely probably know what you're doing, you know? So definitely check that out. Okay, so also another thing that I want you to do, if you are wanting to know about this business, ask your enroller if they have a business page, like a Facebook business page, or if they have a place where they talk about just sharing with people, and ask them to put you in there. Say, hey, I'm really interested in this. I may just be in there and I may just be like an outsider looking in, but I want to kind of see some other things that you're doing. Or what are some other websites that you go to that are really going to help me to be able to do this? You know, I see all these people putting out beautiful graphics. Like, do I need a beautiful graphics? Y'all, I have not used, the only graphics that I use are the graphics that people share me. I did not use one graphic to build my business. So know that if you don't know how to do graphics, you're in good company. Like, you're in great company. I have no idea how to do graphics. So if you don't know how to do graphics, but if you do, by golly, use those graphics and make your Instagram so pretty, because Instagram stories right now are hot and they are a good place to be building your business. I will tell you that right now. I'll give you that tip. That tip's for free. No, it's all for free. I'm just kidding. Okay. So also, one thing that I do want you to know is don't buy the lie that everybody uses Young Living. Oh my gosh, everybody uses Young Living. Just because your best friend uses Young Living doesn't mean that everybody uses Young Living. And just because you see people that you're following using Young Living, I'm going to tell you this right now. You're following those people because we follow people that are like-minded like us. And so that's why we think that everybody's using Young Living, because we're following those people because they're like-minded like us. Y'all, find the people out there that are not like-minded like us and show them the way, you know?
Can I say something here?
Huh?
Can I say something here, Shannon?
Yes, please.
Ask more questions. When somebody tells you they do oils, I promise you, if you ask them a question, you may find out that they used it 5 years ago.
Yep.
Or that they got it from a store. And then you can just share and ask more questions. Because the last several people that I've enrolled told me they did oils, and it was from 4 years ago.
Same.
And they just bought it from a friend. They never had their own account. So ask more questions.
And y'all, you want to ask questions anyways. That's how you get to know a person, is by asking questions. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to get to know that person's needs. You're never going to be able to help them to meet those needs. You know, like a starter kit, our premium starter kit with oils is a starter kit that is meant to be used every single day. Those oils in the starter kit are meant to be used every single day. Young Living has way more than those oils. And if you only really focus on those oils, you're going to sell a kit and then you're going to be done. And that person probably needs way more than what's just in that little kit. You know, like they're going to need other things in order to remember what we talked about in the very beginning, to have that low tox lifestyle. You know, I see so much infertility right now. I see so much autoimmune. I see so much cancer. I see so much just sickness in our world. What if we were the people to share something with somebody and that was what was to change their lives, you know?
It's funny that you mentioned autoimmune, because I have 4 different autoimmune diseases. And I mentioned the thieves before. And I was talking with my friend and she's like, I want in, because she has the same thing I have. So I'm like, okay, we do thieves. I'm going to send her one of those samples.
That's what changed your life, Leah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and so Leah's making it super simple for her friend. What worked for her is what she's sharing. That's exactly what I'm talking about, y'all. She has her thieves bottle that worked for her and her affiliate link, and that is what she's sharing. Okay. So it is that simple, you know? Okay. My final notes really quick. I want you to think about, remember how I said about dreaming? I want you to think about where you would be 4 years from now if you just started sharing organically. Like where you would be. I'm going to tell you in 4 years that from sharing Young Living, that I was able to have a baby, then get pregnant again, miscarriage, hardest time of my life. It was our second miscarriage. We thought that was kind of how God was going to end our family. I got pregnant again right away. And I was able to take a pause, y'all, like literally pause for almost 2 years, like where I just was like focused on my pregnancy, focused on having that baby, focused on having 4 kids, a pause. But you know, the month that I had Hartley, our last baby, that was the highest check that Young Living had ever sent me. I had paused, y'all. But because I had worked so hard and I had shared with people and people had shared with people and people continued to share with people, Young Living still sent me a check that month. Do you know with my other babies where I was working and I took off work, that was it. Like we didn't make any money. So if I had to take off 7 weeks of postpartum, I had to depend on Chase to make it all. But ever since I started Young Living, the babies that I have had, they have sent me a check every single time I have that baby, and I get to enjoy my postpartums. Like for me, that is huge for me. So find out what is going to be huge for you, you know? So in 4 years from now, what is going to be huge for you that you are going to get to do, and that Young Living is still going to send you that check, you know? And how many lives could you change? Like start writing down that list. Like as God starts putting these people on your heart, start writing down that list and just think about just some goals for yourself. Like this could be something that literally, it could be nothing. And we could get off this call and you could be like, Vanessa's cray-cray. Or you could get off this call and be like, if Vanessa Banks can do this, I can do this, you know? Or you can be like, I want to link arms with that girl because she seems pretty legit. Like, I hope that's what it is, but if not, that's okay too. Because we are in it together. We are here to serve you and to be with you and to build a community around you and to love on you and help you to share and do this job easily. I know when I got started, I felt like I was doing it all alone, and then slowly trickling, God just kept putting people in my life to say, hey, you're not alone. Hey, you're not alone. Hey, you get to do it with this person. Hey, you get to do it with this person. And now we've created this beautiful community of it's so much wholeness in here, you know? So y'all, this has been so beautiful for me. I am so thankful that y'all took the time to get on here with me. If you have questions, please let us know. We would love to answer some questions. I don't know if anybody's been watching the chat. And this is literally, we are going to also have a class on Tuesday. It's called Simply Share. So if you're like, listen, I'm a numbers girl. Ashley, she's on here right now. Ashley, hey, my sweet girl. Okay, y'all, she hasn't even got her kit yet. She called me last week. She's like, okay, here's all my questions for you. She is so number minded that she was like, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? I'm like, yes, girl. Like she's thinking everything that I'm not thinking, you know? So she already knew like what she wanted to know about the Young Living business, you know? So sometimes those things are going to happen. So on Tuesday, we're going to be sharing about the Young Living business and just like all the different things that I kind of touched on tonight, but going way more in depth. So if you want to join us on Tuesday, we would love to have you on Tuesday too. So does anybody have any questions? Did anybody watch the chat? No?
Vanessa, I was just gonna add that we also, not only do we have that Rise, but when you sign up a new member, there's a new booklet that they have out that is really amazing because I've been buying booklets from other people, but now we have our own that you can send through the email system.
Yes.
That's how I do most of my things. I just kind of, up here in North Dakota, you can only have a certain amount of time to do outdoor activities because it gets really snowy. So every event that I go to, I just take my little business cards that I made myself. I got some card stock and I put my information on it, my number, my phone number, every way, my website number that they help you make through Oily Living and Sprout Level, which is free right now because they're doing a promotion.
Oh, that's awesome. Because you know, my YL from Young Living, they have a link also. So that's awesome. Yeah.
So I put all that information on my card and I just take a couple of samples. This is all I take my Christmas, my Endoflex thieves, and my other thieves. And I just put them in my pocket and I say, here, smell this.
Yeah.
Do you like this one? This one smells like Christmas. And they're like, oh, give me your information. And
see, and she's already prepared.
I haven't even gotten my kit yet. I'm getting that next month.
Look at this. Look at it.
I'm trying to market first as much as I can. I'm so proud of myself.
Leah, you're in it to win it. Amy over here she's high-fiving you from afar. Like she's like, that's my girl, you know.
Well, can we get more Leahs? Seriously.
And here's the whole thing is there probably are a lot more Leahs. But y'all, like a lot of times people don't know that they even have that affiliate link. Like that's the number one thing that's the reason why I wanted to do these calls. Is sometimes people don't even know that they can share Young Living, you know? And so it's just getting to know people, or that they've had such a bad rap of MLMs that they're like, I don't ever want to tell a single person that I'm using a multi-level marketing product. Like, don't ever make me tell anybody. Like, don't make me tell a soul, because there's been such a bad rap. But I'm going to tell you, like, I kind of used to be one of those people that I'm like, oh yeah, Young Living is an MLM, it's fine. But then once I started breaking it down and I started seeing that they were paying us instead of paying big stores, y'all, like they're paying us to educate. And we're never going to fail our families. Like our families are what we care about the most. And if we are going to do it for our families and then we can share it with somebody else, what we do for our families, like I trust a mom more than I trust anybody. I'm not going to lie. Like if a mom says something, I'm like, amen, sister, because that's how I feel, because a mom is going to do everything she can for her family, you know? Can I get an amen, Carissa? Because I know you're thinking, yes, girl, you know? Anybody else have any questions?
I also just kind of want to mention that it's never too late to start. So if anybody's been, using Young Living for 3 or 4 years, even if you have a team that you've got people that have been around for 3 or 4 years, don't just make that decision for them. If you feel led to invite them to come to a class to learn more, or you see that they're financially struggling, make sure that you dig deep and you check in with the Lord, that that He might want you to offer them this opportunity. They might be your next diamond. You don't know. So don't make that decision for anybody, and be willing to put yourself out there and make the ask. Yep. Whether it's your 4 friends that you want to do this with, that you want to run with, or it's that person on Facebook that reached out to you. Mm-hmm. Do the ask, and it could be 5 years later that they decide to share Young Living.
I even ask everybody. It doesn't matter who comes across.
I know she paused. I can't hear.
Hey, I'd like to say too that y'all can do this no matter what you have going on in your life. Yeah. If you're homeschooling, if you're working another job, if you're moving, this works around what you have in your life, and we can help you figure that out. I mean, I mentioned when we had 8 kids and moving as many times as we did from state to state, and how many of your jobs can you do that? I mean, if you were moving, you probably had to change jobs unless the job moved you there. But my job went with me. I can do it in any state I want to do it. It provided for us to be able to pay for our kids' weddings. I have 6 kids that are now over 16, and they all have their own accounts. And some of them, this pays them some good money. I don't have to pay them. Young Living is paying them.
Well, so that's beautiful. Well, that's another thing. So you have all your kids, and you probably have your husband sign up. Y'all, your very first person could be your husband. Poor Chase Bank still doesn't have his own account. One day he'll get it. One day I'll sign him up. But your husband could be your first person.
And Shannon, I kind of want to play off that too. I think the more that you have going on, the easier it is to share Young Living, because the more pools you're swimming in, get those products out, use them, be a product of the product, and you just have a bigger audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My husband and your husband can get together on Zoom or whatnot, and they can like feed off each other, because my husband wants to start doing the men's line next month.
Yeah. And we have a men's Zoom too. So just know that for husbands and stuff like that, who are kind of like still on the fence, because that is the one thing for most wives. They're like, my husband doesn't like believe in oils. I'm like, y'all literally just go put some peppermint on him when he's like nauseous. And I'm going to tell you this right now, you're going to game change him, or tell him he has to drink Ningxia for a month, especially if he has like seasonal discomforts. And he's going to be like, oh my gosh, remember when I used to sneeze all the time and now I just don't sneeze anymore? I'm like, I do remember that. There's so many products.
You can use the Endoflex on his feet, and that's what got my husband hooked.
Well, there you go. See, I've never even used Endoflex on Chase Banks, Leah, so that's beautiful. Chase Banks is going to get some Endoflex on him tonight. Okay, guys, I just want to thank you so much. I want to thank you for hopping on. If you have any questions, let us know. And if not, then we'll see you on Tuesday at 8, and it will just be here together. And so that way you can learn even more. Sound good? Okay, perfect. Bye, guys.